Funny limericks only clever people will get. Fancy a short one? Number 1, gasman named Dieter. A forgetful old gasman named Dieter, who went poking around his gas heater, touched a leak with his light, he blew out of sight, and, as everyone who knows anything about poetry can tell you, he also ruined the meter. Number 2, a young Cretan. There was a young fellow of Crete, who was so exceedingly neat, when he got out of bed, he stood on his head, to make sure of not soiling his feet. Number 3, runner named Dwight. There once was a runner named Dwight, who could speed even faster than light. He set out one day, in a relative way, and returned on the previous night. Number 4, we're off to see the wizard. The incredible Wizard of Oz, retired from his business because, due to up-to-date science, to most of his clients, he wasn't the wizard he was. Number 5, an amoeba named Max. An amoeba named Max and his brother, were sharing a drink with each other. In the midst of their quaffing, they split themselves laughing, and each of them now is a mother. Number 6, mind the gap. There was a young fellow from Belfast, that I wanted so badly to tell fast, not to climb up the stair, as the top step was air, and that's why the young fellow fell fast. Number 7, old girl of Genoa. There was an old girl of Genoa, and I blush when I think that Iowa, she's gone to her rest, it's all for the best, otherwise, I would borrow Samoa. Number 8, Ornithology 101. A wonderful bird is the pelican, his bill holds more than his bellican, he can take in his beak, enough food for a week, but I'm damned if I see how the helican. Number 9, lady named Ferris. There once was a lady named Ferris, whom nothing could ever embarrass. Till the bath salts one day, in the tub where she lay, turned out to be plaster of Paris. Number 10, Irene the scientist. There once was a girl named Irene, who lived on distilled kerosene, but she started absorbing a new hydrocarbon, and since then is never benzene. Number 11, writer named Bing. A magazine writer named Bing could make copy for most anything, but the copy he wrote, of a $10 note, was so good he now lives in Sing Sing. Number 12, no Gouda. One Saturday morning at 3, a cheesemonger's shop in Paris collapsed to the ground, with a thunderous sound, leaving only a pile of debris. Number 13, oyster from Kalamazoo. An oyster from Kalamazoo confessed he was feeling quite blue. For he said, as a rule, when the weather turns cool, I invariably get in a stew. Number 14, girl in the choir. There once was a girl in the choir, whose voice rose up war and war, till it reached such a height, it went clear out of sight, and they found it next day in the spire. Number 15, on algebra. Is algebra a fruitless endeavor?
It seems they've been trying forever, to find x, y, and z, and it's quite clear to me, if they've not found them yet then they'll never.
Number 16, ambitious young girl. There was once a young girl who said, why, can't I look in my ear with my eye? If I put my mind to it, I'm sure I can do it. You never can tell till you try. Number 17, tooting tutor. A tutor who tutored a flute, tried to teach 2 young tutors to toot. Said the tutor to the tutor, is it harder to toot, or, to tutor 2 tutors to toot? Number 18, disgruntled young Viking. A rather disgruntled young Viking, found plunder was not to his liking, when they yelled all ashore, he just threw down his oar, and announced, I'm not striking, I'm striking. Number 19, rhymes are hard. A crafty young bard named McMahon, whose poetry never would scan, once said, with a pause, it's probably because, I'm always trying to cram as many additional syllables into the last line as I possibly can.